This podcast features a lot of adult language.
Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm playing Rannin, the Dwarven Barbarian.
I'm John. I'm playing Trainer, the Half-Elf Ranger.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, and I'll be playing Lyra, the High Elf of Royal Descent, who's a rogue assassin.
I'm Brett Rude, and I'm playing Ovalt Mithril Tongue, your gnomish bard/wizard.
Hey, I'm James, and I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. Okay, so this time we are down a couple of people. So we've got Lyra, Ovalt, Trainor, and Rannin. And Mortander and Nada are off scouting out different adventures, and you're not quite sure where they are, but they took off somewhere midweek and said they'd be back soon. It has been about 2 weeks. We're going to take it in 1 week chunks. The first week after you guys run off the Red Brands, liberate Tressendar Manor, and get the deed for what used to be the Sleeping Giant tap room. Since that's happened, the townsfolk have basically risen up and run off the old townmaster, Harbin Wester, and his family, unfortunately, because they were kind of... I mean, obviously they were benefiting from his corruption on the side, but they didn't really have anything to do with it. So, but the townsfolk have pretty much just run them off. They grabbed what they could and hit the road. So they've headed off to Neverwinter.
So there's another abandoned house.
It's technically abandoned.
I'm kidding. I'm not. Ooh, land grab.
And so what's happened in the week since, you haven't had much chance to actually go about what you would like to do between adventures, simply because people have started calling you the heroes of Phandalin, and everyone comes to you for petty squabbles and, disagreements. So this whole week you've basically been acting as kind of interim town guards. Ovalt especially has been doing, some carousing. And between that and I'm assuming you've spent some time trying to get the inn or the tap room all in order.
It's mainly cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's filled with spider webs.
Yeah, it's not in great shape. It's it's kind of one of those places with sawdust all over the ground, and
perfect.
The upkeep was not.
Tomorrow.
A lot of people, since you ran off the Red Brands, have been coming in. You notice that there's a lot more traffic to the town, and it apparently news, especially since Harbin Wester went to Neverwinter, you guess that might be part of it, but it sounds like news of Phandalin being kind of cleaned up a little bit has spread even as far as Neverwinter already. So you're starting to get a lot more travelers, more miners, business people, but most notably, you hear that someone named Ayla Tressendar has arrived.
Ooh, i.e. Tressendar Manor.
Mm-hmm. If you want to make a quick investigation, because at this point you haven't met this person.
You want me to make it, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mr. Social over there.
Hey. 21.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty good.
You actually have seen her in the street.
Oh.
You hear about her, you're kind of looking around. So during this second week, a lot of stuff is happening, and you're still busy. And actually, before I get too much further, tell me what you guys want to do in this remaining week. Lyra.
I'm definitely going to be pickpocketing people. Trying to get as
Our
much
savior.
gold as I can,
But just find their wallets 5 feet behind them.
Yeah, they just find it like in the fountain. Oh, and one thing I actually forgot to mention about the town of Phandalin is in the town square near the green, there's actually a statue. A statue of someone you're somewhat indirectly familiar with, whose name is...
Aldith?
Yeah.
Aldith. Tressendar, huh?
Yeah, it's
Oh
the...
boy.
It appears to be stone.
I'm putting 2 R's at the end because that sounds more.
No, it's one R. But yeah, he's in this heroic pose where he's, lifting his sword and looks like he's about to attack some foe. Although his hand is empty, as there's no sword in it. But
Is there anything on the bottom of the statue that describes like why he has a statue here, like what he did specifically?
There's a plaque with his name and everything and the date, but what you remember about him was he was this kind of protector of the area. He was the lord that lived in the manor house at the top of the hill, so that's probably where that comes from.
Okay.
So you were gonna try and pickpocket. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go ahead and. So I'm gonna pretty much just treat that as carousing. Are you gonna spend the entire time? Because you mentioned something about wanting to brew some poison.
That's true. So I'll spend 2 days pickpocketing and then the rest making poisons.
Okay. Why don't you roll percentile die and see what you get for your carousing? And it's good that you're doing that early, since you're still technically the guards.
44.
44.
I don't know what this means. Why is it
Well,
very
you'll
loud?
see.
All right, yeah. So
We'll find
you
out.
actually
Did
managed
get
to
thrown in jail?
pickpocket modest winnings and recuperate your lifestyle expenses for the time you spend that week.
Oh, sweet.
So you actually don't have to pay any of your, it basically pays for all of your time that you're staying at the inn, all of your food, drink, etc.
Cool.
Okay.
That's not bad.
And then you wanted to spend the rest of your time
Making poisons.
poisons. Okay. So I think you'll be able to make about enough poison to have 10 uses. All right, Ovalt. What are you doing?
Okay, so I'm gonna spend a day leveling, studying in my books, and
Learning new songs.
Yes, exactly. Learning some new songs, writing some new songs feverishly. Then I want to spend a good amount of time working on the barfing bugbear. But I also, now that Ayla Tressendar showed up, I kind of want to figure out about her. So 1 day leveling, 1 day snooping. Then that leaves me 8 days. I'll spend 6 of those days working on the barfing bugbear, and then 2 of those days performing live.
Roll to see what you get for your performing.
Okay. So 15 plus 5, 20 total. So
Yeah.
I think I did pretty well.
Yeah, 20 is pretty good. So I'm going to say you are able to pay for double that many days of wealthy lifestyle.
All right.
Doo-doo-doo.
Well, thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, so trainer, what are you doing?
Well, since I feel like I'm being bested by Lyra the Rogue,
You guys did have an archery contest where you were thoroughly embarrassed,
Yeah.
so
well, yeah, for some strange reason I realized that, the string on my bow was a little worn, so I went to go replace that and a few other things.
makes sense.
But then I went ahead and hit the healed forest and started training,
Okay, you're jumping from
jumping from
log
tree
to
to
log
tree and practicing jumping off of one branch to another while shooting a bow in between,
doing flips.
flips exactly, and also eating well, getting fit.
Yeah, all right, okay.
So I pretty much figure I spend up most of my time doing that, and then helping Ovalt clean up the bugbear, things like
Okay,
that.
so-
Nothing that's really of any note. I don't really care about the town.
Yeah, so
I'll
you're
help the-
spending like a 2 or 3 days worth helping with the barfing bugbear.
And if it looks like if I see a squabble on my way out, I'll go ahead and break it up or anything
Okay.
like that. But pretty much I'd be starting it down.
All right, makes sense. Rannon, what are you doing in your 10 days worth of goodness?
I am definitely finding a buyer for my malachite gems.
Oh, okay. So let's do that first. So you're going to head down to the Vandalen Miners Exchange. You notice that Hollia Thornton, the woman who runs it, is markedly less cordial with you than last time. And she offers you 15 gold for both of them.
It doesn't make me happy.
Okay. Are you going to try and...
I'm an intimidator.
Oh, shit. Alright. Make an intimidate check. You're just going to rest the old super sharp sword on the table.
22.
Holy shit.
These are worth more.
She kind of leans back away from the table where you're striking an imposing figure. And she comes up to 30 gold. Yeah, when you start to take your intimidating posture, a couple of her guards kind of move in from the back room.
I don't know.
You can try.
I don't know if they're worth more than that or not.
No, you don't. She's like, look, this is what they're worth. I'm not lying. She seems thoroughly intimidated, but she still doesn't like you.
Would she want these gems? Like, are they desirable to her?
Not really. I mean, she's more about just moving the stuff through and making a buck on it.
So I'll hang on to them. I'm gonna leave, and
Okay.
I'm gonna knock my shit off of her counter.
You hear her, she's cursing in the background. Blasted dwarves.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to. I feel like they're maybe worth more than that.
Okay.
I'll spend a couple days brewing normal ale.
Normal ale. Okay.
So I'll do 2 days, which gives us a couple barrels, if that's.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much count that towards the setup of the
Okay. So,
tap room since it needs ale.
needs ale,
And you've
yeah.
got what was left from when it was the Sleeping Giant. They have regular shipments coming in from Neverwinter, so when that guy arrives with more ale, you're just, you're like, we're the new owners. It's the Barfing Bugbear now, and they seem, they don't really seem to mind as long as the bill's being paid, so
Okay.
they drop off the casks and head out. Since you've made some of yourself, you basically it helps recoup the costs.
Sure. All right. So a couple days of making ale, a day not selling my gems. I'll spend a few days training. I'm gonna go out into like the forest, and my training is just killing orcs and finding new ways to kill them. Just like new techniques.
Just ambushing orc patrols.
Yeah, whatever. That's what I do.
Yeah, you
And,
notice that.
and then the last few days, just like also kind of helping move some of the heavier items that smaller people can't move.
All right,
Hey.
while you're out
I heard
doing,
that.
Actually, Traynor and Rhiannon, both of you notice that when you're out in the wilderness doing your things, there's markedly fewer goblins and sign of goblins than there have been in the past. Since this is technically Cragmaw territory, you usually see signs of patrols moving through all over the place, and the sign you're seeing now is, a little older, so it's not like alarming or anything, but it's something that you're kind of, you definitely are kind of struck by it. So, the results of Ovalt's searching for clues on Ayla Tressendar. So you actually spotted her around town. She seems like a very personable woman. She's mid-30s human, dark hair with piercing green eyes. She seems very charismatic and well-educated. And she actually seems to be almost, as soon as she arrives, she's almost, not quite campaigning, but she's ingratiating herself with the people. She's very, not generous. She's not like throwing money all over the place, but she's, offering to help people out, things like that.
Trying to make friends.
Yeah.
Right? God.
And-
Some people.
Within a few days, she's actually moved into the,
My place?
no, she has moved into Harbin Wester's, their family's old house.
Oh. See, I was already eyeballing that.
And that was offered by the townsfolk. They said, hey, it's a little weird because you seem like, it seems like the townsfolk have this natural inclination to trust her because of her family name is associated with the history of the town. And by the end of the second week, they've held elections, and she is basically the new townmaster. Everyone's just super in love with this woman.
That's what I should have been doing.
Yeah, you fucked
For office.
So she actually,
Ovalt.
so by the end of week 2, she's brought in mercenary guards. They've established
She's
a
like
new
ready to
town
go.
guard. She lived
She's
in.
too ready.
She was in Neverwinter and apparently heard these rumors. And it sounds, from what you've heard, she's been telling the townspeople that this is her ancestral home, and she's been looking to go back, and was prepping some sort of expedition to liberate it herself. And when she heard the news that some heroes had come along and cleared out the red brands and liberated the place, she took that opportunity to head
and
on
she
out.
hasn't even come by to thank us.
She hasn't found you, but she's gone around.
I'm right here.
Well, the first couple days you saw her in passing. You've all seen her because she was staying at the Stonehill Inn for a night or two, but you didn't know who she was. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
however, we are picking up the adventure. Biddy-doo.
Oh, did you want me to beat it you? Sorry.
No. So, the day that we're starting the adventure is the day of Greengrass. Greengrass is a festival that welcomes the first day of spring. Traditionally, the wealthier people, in this case, the new townmaster Ayla Tressendar, brings out flowers to give to the less wealthy, who either wear them or spread them on the ground to encourage deities to usher in the summer.
Oh, flowers everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't remember who this Tressendar are. They noble?
Yeah, so the place that the dungeon that you guys went through where the Red Brands were hiding is the cellar of the ruined Tressendar Manor, which is kind of a misnomer because it's like almost a small keep.
I'm noble. I could.
Oh, you can call
ask her.
counsel
I
with
can
them or
call
something like
counsel with her. If
that. I think it sounds like she's not making herself hidden.
Yeah,
or-
from what you've
nothing-
seen, there doesn't seem to be any kind of like malicious overtures. It's more of this person wanting to go back to her home and having the opportunity. Since you rolled so well, I will say she has been asking about the heroes of Fandalen because she's apparently extremely grateful. So
I gotcha. I think we should send a message to her to come by. Well, is a barfing bugbear in any presentable shape?
well, you guys knew about Greengrass, and you found out that she was throwing this big Greengrass festival, which is something that's normally done in the town. It's just the Red Brand thing kind of kept things under, everything was kind of muted for the last few years. So this is the first year, and the Red Brands were just driven off. So everyone's in, and with the new influx of people and coin, everyone's in general just happier. So that's kind of what you were shooting for, was your grand opening on that day, even though it's not, the Barfing Bugbear is not exactly how you had dreamt it, but it's definitely at a spot where you can go through, and you've interviewed a few townsfolk, and there's definitely people that need work, especially with the new travelers. So you've got Elsa as kind of the hostess, barmaid, and you found a guy who you think could be the manager.
Okay.
And then there's, about 3 other people that are just, barmaids and
Busboys.
yeah, busboys, cooks, stuff like that.
Well, I say we open up our doors and give out some free ale to the people. Some, not a ton. Just
Yeah, I mean, basically the
bring
whole
people in,
day
make it
of
big.
Greengrass is that they're setting up big banquet tables on the green, and everyone's running around with flowers in their hair, and it's analogous to like a spring break meets 4th of July sort of thing.
I just shake my head at all this wasted nature.
That's right. You're just like,
I'm like, seriously?
merciless flower slaughter.
Like, this is terrible.
I say we send her an invite to come by the Barfing Bugbear on the day of Greengrass
Okay.
to meet the heroes.
All right.
Never
the
met a
banquet.
noble. Does anyone have a shirt?
I'm a noble.
No, she doesn't act like it,
Brandon.
Lyris.
I'm a noble. So you haven't met a noble.
I've never met a noble.
Really, Shannon?
This is so exciting.
I didn't get a shirt.
So yeah, the festival's in full swing. So you're setting up. Are you setting up barrels out on the green? And do you want to set them out? I mean, there's people in the streets and everything, so it wouldn't be too much for you. I mean, you could set up, a couple of barrels out front because you've got kind of one of those old
Samplers.
west.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have
Yeah.
samplers out front. We'll have Rannon's super charismatic.
Okay.
Drink this.
Well, I mean,
And I'll be out front
Elsa.
trying to bring people in, like, hey.
Now you've also had to do some damage control with the owners of the Stonehill Inn because you basically stole Elsa, who was, one of their highest tip receiving barmaids. So they're a little sore about that because, brings in a lot of cash, but, they understand since
Yeah.
you two getting kind of close.
The heart's a fickle thing.
All right, so to commemorate the grand opening of the Barfing Bugbear, there's this that Elsa has had made.
That's awesome.
That was all.
Yeah, don't hand it to Lyra.
That was all Mike.
That's awesome. Oh.
And on top of that, Elsa was so happy that she had commemorative custom coasters made for when you visit when you visit the bar. So this one is Lyra.
It's Lyra's.
Oh, look at that. Yep.
Elsa had this made?
Yeah.
Elsa had that made for you. Oh.
Then Rhiannon and Traynor.
Wow! My challenge! That's not the sound they make.
You like that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you.
It's like an 80s cartoon.
Then for Ovalt. And since listeners can't really hear this, so we're gonna have to put pictures online. And then for Svanya, there's the
Tempest.
symbol of Tempest. So that was super awesome. And Mike spent his time making those. So
That says it's not until you lose everything that you are able to do anything.
oh, that's some Lyra shit.
Or
right
it's
there.
you are free to do anything.
That's right.
For,
Yeah.
for Lyra Durganel.
Lyra shit.
And
Okay, so it's mid-morning. The festivities have just kicked off. There's musicians in the green. People are cheering. You know, the kids are frolicking, running around. People are spreading flowers in the grass and everything. And so you set up the casks out front and are enjoying the festivities. Actually, let's have everybody say exactly what they're doing. Elsa is out front, kind of, you know, as the, you know, like when just trying to flag down passersby and inviting people to the Barfing Bugbear. You've got a grand opening sign out front.
I'm there more disgusted with everybody's.
You're just sitting there all just dour look on your face, scowling.
Arms crossed. And since I'm normally in town, everyone should know that I'm slightly more agitated when I'm in town versus when I'm outside of it.
Okay.
So definitely checking over my shoulder.
All right. Yeah, you're kind of people watching too, I imagine.
Yeah.
You see a young woman run by, but you notice that she's levitating about a foot off the ground. What? Yeah, and she's,
you know.
she's running from down near the area of the green.
All right. I'll tap Red and go, boy.
She's gone by now. She's gone around the corner.
What?
I saw someone running. They're like,
Good for you!
no. Not like how you run, where you're like really low to the ground.
Oh!
This person was about like a foot off the ground.
Rannon's skeptical of what he's saying.
You do hear
Yeah,
there's a lot of cheering and laughter and stuff, but you do hear some kind of like delighted laughter and squeals of excitement from the children closer to the green. Like down the road towards, you know, the inn and all the main area.
Yeah, I'll go walk it and be like, all right, well, suit yourself.
Okay, so as you round the bend and actually enter the town square, you see a donkey-drawn cart. It's kind of like almost a gypsy wagon looking thing with a big sign on top of it, and it's the proprietor looks like an old wizened gnome. He's got a big gray beard, and the sign says Ribbo Barin's magnificent grog of substantial whimsy. And he's giving people shots of this, you know, it's bubbling with, you know, dry ice looking smoke, and you know, you see one kid take a swig of it, and all of a sudden,
Kids can drink it?
you know, her hair turns rainbow colors, and she's and they go running around, and you see another one. As soon as, you know, this old man drinks it, he starts to say something, and all of his words are coming out backwards, and just everyone's laughing and having a good time with that.
I'll walk over. Is he giving out like shots of it? Like
Yeah, he's charging 1 silver piece, and he's like, "Step right up," like being a gross little gnome.
I reach into my boot.
You giving him the sock money?
Yeah, it's sweaty. You have like all these silver pieces. Your boots like 80 pounds.
He's just walking. It sounds like he's a cowboy, but it's coins.
It's crazy when I get stealthy. I go, here you go.
Okay, so he pulls out a little, you know, gourd and pours up. Here you go, and hands it off to you.
Oh, I'm not taking the shot.
Oh, you're just walking off with it?
Yeah, I go, here's to health. I'm going to walk back.
He's like, looks at you kind of confused, like, okay.
He's got his money.
I
He's
see
like,
this.
don't worry, it'll only last 30 minutes.
Good to know.
He's got that crazy, like, low pan, or
It's like low
egg
alert.
shen kind of, like, crazy eyes.
I was like, okay, good to know.
You just walking off with
Spike
it?
someone's drink.
No, I walk over to wherever Oval would be.
Okay. And you see a kid buzz by with insect wings.
What's this?
That's what's making those kids do all that stuff. Don't. I don't know what it is.
It's just like frothing and bubbling.
It's,
I recognize this. Maybe I know
Yeah,
this
I
guy.
see
I
it.
might have heard of this dude.
Roll just a general intelligence check to see if you've heard of this guy. Most of the traffic that's coming through town is from Neverwinter, and that's where you were working, so you might have heard of this guy.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by the thief sitting next to me. General intelligence check, you said? Okay. That is a 19.
You haven't heard of him.
Oh.
He tells you his name, and you're just like, you feel like if he had been doing the same thing in Neverwinter, you would know this guy.
Yeah.
Because there is kind of a gnome population there, and it's somebody that talented to make something like this, you'd have heard.
Can I take a look at the drink and do a knowledge arcana to see if I can tell its magical properties?
Okay.
A 21.
Yeah, 21. So you kind of like look at it and give it a little taste, and it's really
Eyebrows light on fire or something?
no, nothing crazy happens. You just kind of give it a sniff, and just enough to kind of get a taste. You have heard of grog of substantial whimsy before, and that's why when when Trainor tells you what it is, you're kind of alerted, because that could be some dangerous stuff. It looks like it's some sort of weakened or watered down version of it, because it's not nearly as potent as what you would expect. Normally, its effects are permanent, things like that, but from what he's saying, it only lasts 30 minutes. But it's similar in effects to something like a deck of many things or something like that, but it's much more mild.
Okay.
But it is, if it was the undiluted stuff, it's definitely the kind of thing that could kill you, but it could also, give you some sort of superpower. So
I'm tempted to try this out.
Knock yourself out.
Maybe I can make some analysis. Maybe I can figure out by tasting it or trying it out, see what effect it has on me.
Why don't you give it to Elsa?
maybe
Nah.
it's fucked up. You know, here, drink this.
One silver piece.
Ping. There's a silver piece.
All right, roll a die 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
Holy shit. So, okay.
What is that?
So I'll just roll D10 3 times and do first digit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so which is which?
Red, green, silver. 0054, so a 54
Whoa.
out of 1,000. I explode. That is very low.
Should have given it to Elsa.
Oh, and I make kind of a spectacle of it. I'm like, oh, hey, check this out. I hear we
Yeah,
have
so
some
you drink it,
grog.
and you don't notice anything different. You're like, oh, you
Huh.
stretch out your arms, and everybody else roll perception checks.
You're looking the other way. Oh, God, she was
12.
12. Okay,
Randon, the most perceptive.
Randon's the only one that notices.
Singing dwarven things, drunk.
Yeah, you're just stumbling about, but then you realize that while Ovalt's standing there with his hands outstretched, not quite understanding what's happening, his shadow is dancing around and like making, just goofing on him, and rabbit ears and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, everyone's laughing at you, and you're like, what? So you're goofing around out front when you see Ayla Tressendar approach.
Oh. My shadow's all.
Yeah, exactly. Your shadow's just totally mocking you.
I go up, well, hello. She's like, it's all.
Okay, well, she says, she understands that you are among the heroes of Fandalin that she has to thank for her newly liberated manor.
Yes.
Brandon's buttoning his shirt.
He's like, whoa! Your beard's all getting caught in it.
Are we all together?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Where were you?
Yeah, I don't
Actually, you're the only one we didn't know where she was yet.
Because she's that sneaky.
She was next to us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the whole
I'm
time.
here the whole time.
She is the
Wait,
shadow.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Lyra, let's go meet this noble.
She's already standing right in front of you, so. She introduces herself
yes.
as Ayla Tressendar and apologizes for not having come, and introduced herself sooner. But as you can see, she's been busy about town. She's got a lot of new responsibilities now, etc., etc.
I see you have been very busy around town. As you can see, I've been very busy working on the barfing bugbear.
She smiles politely. She's like, "Oh yes, I noticed that and I've heard you've been working very hard on it."
Yes, it is quite amazing.
Well, she says, by way of thanks for freeing her ancestral home, she'd like to offer the service of some of her builders when they arrive to rebuild her manor to help refurbish the taproom.
I think we could use a little help. I'm not saying this out loud, but I remember when we took the manor, we were like, "Ooh, we got ourselves a new manor," and now she's coming in to basically, "That's my manor."
Yeah, from what
I don't know if that's
you're
right,
asking
like,
around and everything, she is the sole heir of the Tressendar estate.
So by all rights, it is her
Yeah.
manor. All right, so it's kind of a bummer, but hey,
Yeah, I mean, the Red Brands
We
were
got
kind of
the-
squatters,
we
and
got the bugbears.
but at the very least, she appears to be genuine. She's not, she's obviously a politician, but she's not, she doesn't appear to be smarmy or
Doesn't appear to be. Can I roll insight just to be sure?
you can.
I didn't do so well on that. I got a 10. So
Fuck on my dice.
was it?
I totally just bush
You
leagued
should,
it. Should probably pull out my dice if I'm gonna play some D&D tonight.
Yeah,
Okay, what did you roll?
a 10.
Yeah, from what you can tell, she seems completely genuine.
I know
She's
nobles
mentioned.
because I'm a noble. Can I roll insight as well?
Sure, you're gonna introduce yourself, or are you just watching?
I'm watching.
Okay.
Just to see if I think that she's 13.
From what you can see, I mean, it's a little different since you grew up among elven nobility and she's a human. She seems typical of the type of humans you've encountered that, visiting your family.
Humans.
Yeah.
Well, I tell her
Typically more interested in monetary gain and things like that. But from what you've heard, from what Ovalt's discovered, she seems particularly interested in her heritage and its attachment to this area. So that kind of gives you some insight into, it's abnormal for a human because normally they're very much about material wealth, power.
Well, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. I will certainly accept any help you'd be willing to offer. And if there's anything we can help you out with, certainly come down and let us know.
Of course, all of the previous town master's bounties I've taken on. All of my guards are, on my payroll. So, if you do any of that work, feel free to come down to the town master's hall.
Ah,
It's basically the town hall. It's the only building in town that's still like the original stone. But yeah, that's her basically. Since she's effectively the mayor, that's her new office, and the guards' barracks. So they've got their little jail there and everything. And you see that, they're kind of doing their thing. There's about 20 guards, pretty standard, first, second level fighters and chainmail. They've hauled a couple people off to the, for being drunk and disorderly, but so far they don't seem malicious or anything.
wear anything particular, like a blue sash, and they're the blue brands or something?
No,
I
they
just hope
actually
we're not replacing one.
they
tree
actually
with
do
another.
wear the Tressendar family seal,
Okay, so we got.
which is a black hawk, outspread wings, caw, just like his sword.
Oh wait. Isn't my sword like?
Yeah, you found it in Tressendar Manor.
Oh.
It belonged to Aldith Tressendar.
Oh, that's. My eyes widen. I look at the sword,
It's like-
and I look at that statue, and I'm like, Randy, get inside.
She's just, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I feel a strange presence behind me. That's my shadow.
She's laughing at your shadow. She's just,
While she's laughing, I sheath my sword.
Why was it
out?
Why was it unsheathed?
No.
Eating a noble.
Dwarven nobility. That things differently.
So yeah, she's laughs and makes a comment how you must have had some of the grog.
Oh yes. But that's nothing compared to what I can do. Whoosh, and I make fireworks just shoot out of my hands.
Okay. Yeah, she's smiling and clapping. She's definitely entertained and politely excuses herself.
Yeah. That doesn't do it for nobles. That's not.
Well, she's not rude about it, but she's,
No.
and there's also a lot of people coming up to speak with her and everything. She's quickly becoming a popular person in town.
Brandon will go up and like shake her hand and be like, "I'm
Way
so
too
excited to have never met a noble. I'm so excited to see you."
We don't like tea.
She shakes her hand. She's like, "Oh, you must be Renan. I've heard so much about."
Oh, he kind of blushes. Like,
I hear they call you Renan the Mighty.
ooh,
You're welcome for that.
I didn't know I was known around these parts.
She smiles and walks off.
Okay,
All right,
All right.
got that out of the way.
it's really nice.
Super nice. She's
He doesn't say that about many people.
Keep your eyes peeled. Even if the buildings
I'm a
come.
noble.
Is he just staring at me?
Lyra's
I'm
just
a noble.
death eyes.
Never ever trust a noble.
I'd like everyone to real quick make a passive or an active perception check.
15.
7.
15.
12.
Okay, Lyra and Trainor both. You notice someone you've never seen before in Vendalen. And Lyra especially, you notice her because she's an elf. And she appears to be wearing almost a dress made of leaves. She's extremely graceful, blonde woman, and she's kind of flitting through the crowd. And you just catch a glimpse of her. It's nothing menacing or anything like that, but it's definitely someone where you're like, okay, that's not just an average person.
Where's leaves?
Yeah, I can look over. I can look at these two since I notice they don't notice her, and I look at Lyra and go,
Yeah.
well,
Strange.
probably keep an eye on her.
Crazy what else?
Yeah. I say this all in Elvish to you, so no one else can.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, talk.
What kind of elves are those?
German elves.
We're gonna have a fun game tonight.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Elsa, I need a fill.
It's like, right away, and she grabs your glass and wanders off. She's completely oblivious to your.
That I hate her?
Yeah. She brought you a gift. She's like, here you go.
Whatever.
Whatever. Right as you're kind of checking out what's going on with this mysterious elf person, you hear people kind of pointing and being like, "Whoa, what's that?" And like pointing up in the sky.
There haven't been dragons in this area.
Yeah, automatically I turn on my
It's
my
me.
super sense.
Okay, also roll a quick. Do you have survival?
Yes.
Roll a survival check for
11.
me. Okay. You can't place it, but you get a scent in the wind, and you can tell there's a dragon within a mile.
Shit. Is it a mile? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I go.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh no, I go.
Yeah.
He just shoots himself.
Block, talk.
Okay, so yeah, people are now starting to. A lot of people are looking up in the sky and being like, "Whoa, what is that? It's getting closer."
I'm going to look up.
Okay, I guess I'll look up in the sky as well.
You see a winged creature flying in the air straight towards town. As it starts to get closer, and now you see Colleen Alderleaf grabs Carp and she's booking it indoors. People are starting to screaming and running around and heading inside.
I start to move to it. I start climbing on top of a building to get better advantage.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Okay,
what
it's getting
fall-
closer. People are starting to clear out, but there's still some people in the square. At the speed it's going, you'd guess it's going to arrive where you guys are in maybe 30 seconds. You can see now it's a griffin.
Oh.
No, hey, griffins
Griffin.
are no joke. They're no joke.
You see a metallic glint, and you can see it's actually wearing barding, and there's someone riding it. It's a human warrior, not brandishing any weapons, and it looks like there's somebody over the saddle, kind of in front of him, and he's flying towards the main green of town.
Oh, instead of hiding, I'm gonna stay out.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk towards the statue. I'm just
Okay. You hear the
I'm
cry.
sweating them up.
You hear the eagle scream of the griffin as it gets closer.
Wait with my butt.
I want to try to act like I'm not totally crap my pants.
Just like.
Well,
All right,
in the
so-
hopes that maybe he's bringing back.
Yeah, he's
someone who's injured,
You know,
and
you're
maybe he's
pretty
a good guy.
intimidated because it's a griffin. You've never seen a griffin before. Its wingspan is huge, and it's just gliding straight in, and it's got this huge armored warrior on it. It hits the ground and just starts galloping towards the center of town, and he just pulls up with a skid. And at this point, roll an intelligence check.
All right.
He looks like he's heading straight for the Temple of Luck.
Ooh, which I've visited several times.
Yeah.
I got a 15.
Okay, you've heard of this guy.
Ooh. Oh, this Griffin Rider.
This guy is the renowned dragon slayer Mikhail Winterclaw, also known as the Ice Fang.
That's awesome. So you said Mikhail Winterclaw, he's a dragon slayer. What was that last part?
Ice Fang.
His name, he's known as the Ice Fang,
Ooh, the Ice
which
Fang.
is his namesake is the great sword he is actually wearing across his back.
Ooh. Do I know that? Eyeballing it. Do I know of his reputation? Is he like,
Yes,
like
you
an
know his whole
honorable warrior
story.
or
Yeah,
savage
he-
evil guy?
You don't have time to relay this to everybody,
Yeah.
but you know that he's actually a very, very famous person in the Sword Coast. He's often romanticized because he originally was an Uthgard barbarian. He was part of the Grey Wolves tribe that settled actually near here in Coneybury and left his tribe to become civilized and was actually knighted by Dagult Neverember himself, who's the Lord Protector of Neverwinter. And you've personally told stories about how he slew dragons and he was a big hero during the Sundering. You thought he was dead. That's what you had heard, that he had been killed during the Sundering. But yeah, he basically is kind of romanticized because he became a paladin of Torm and just kind of renounced his barbarian ways. He is a tall, rugged, incredibly handsome man with dirty blonde hair and ruddy, leathery skin, hardened and scarred by years of battle and adventure. His hair is long, as is his beard, braided into a single carved dragon tooth ring, displaying the fist symbol of Torm. His plate armor was once exquisite and ornate. Ovalt, you know that it was also given to him by the Lord Protector of Neverwinter. It's now dinged and scratched with use, boasts his personal sigil, snarling wolf jaws on the breast, which is now disfigured with gouges from what look like the rake of massive claws. It appears to fit a little loosely. When he's moving, it's jostling around. He wears a necklace of dragon teeth made from at least 3 different dragons.
I'm going to use my cantrip message. I'm going to whisper a message to Traynor, kind of relaying some of this information. I mean, briefly, you know, the highlights.
You're like, he's a good guy. Don't
Yeah,
worry
so
about
I can communicate up to 60 feet just by
Okay.
whispering, and he can hear it as if I'm like right in his ear.
it. Okay, he's now landed in the
Yeah.
green.
So I'm like, this
and he-
guy, this is Mikhail Winterclaw.
Yeah,
It's
he's
the Ice Fang. He's a dragon.
he's shouting, and he's still got an accent, but he's like, I need a healer.
You need a healer. You've come to the right place.
you
We're
see-
both all.
And you see Sister Garaele poking her head out of the Temple of Luck.
Yeah.
I do a flip off and I flick my hair like,
Hi! His eyebrow kind of lifts up. He's like, this man is wounded. I need a healer.
I give Lyra a look like, I've never seen you act like that before. Yeah, tell you what, I'll go get Sister, what's her name?
Garaele.
And I'll stay.
And see if he can stabilize. So, yeah, I'll
Okay.
go get her.
All right, so he pulls up, and his griffin it's pretty freaky to get close to. You've never been that close to something or a monster that big, and it's looking around. It's got creepy kind of bird eyes looking around, and it's instantly fixated on the nearby horses that are tied up. Its
he's
beak
hungry.
is like chomp 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 chomp, like just.
Yeah, those are for you.
But he jumps down and he pulls the wounded. He looks like a fighter. He's a human, and he's got gnarly rake like claw marks across his chest, and he looks pretty discolored. Actually, you can roll with advantage your intelligence.
Ooh, there we go.
15, because I have nothing to it.
That's good enough. You get a whiff of a chlorine like scent, And just as you're thinking it, Mikhail starts to speak, and he's like, "We were ambushed by a horrible, vicious green dragon named Venom Fang."
Am I back with what's her face yet? I keep forgetting her name.
Sister Garail. She
Sister
sees
Garail?
what's going on, and she looks pretty frightened. She's not cool with that griffin. It's a cunning beast.
Yeah.
It ambushed us as we were looking for its lair.
Yeah, they'll do that.
He lost his accent. Well, he actually drifts in and out, not just because I'm bad at accents, but because he's trying to, assimilate. He's worked pretty hard at it.
And try to cure wounds.
Okay. So you cast Cure Wounds and stabilize him?
Yeah.
And Sister Grail won't come near him as long as that griffin.
She doesn't know what's going on. She's
Okay.
still like, what the fuck? Like, there's a griffin in town square. And people are starting to poke their heads out, and you hear hushed whispers and everything. And not everyone was able to get out, so there's a lot of people just kind of huddled and...
So I'm going to tell Sister Grail, I'm like, Sister Grail, we have an injured man, and this griffin, it looks scary, but 1 second. And I go walking over, and I start looking at it, and I start speaking in strange tongues. I'm going to cast animal friendship on it.
Okay.
And see if I can get it, so it's not, wings aren't out, it's all chomping and stuff, see if I can get it to just kind of calm down.
It's not, like, freaked out, but yeah, you can try and kind of calm it a little bit. I don't know how that's spelled.
I heal him for 10 hit points for whatever.
Okay, you see the wounds kind of closing a bit. They're not perfectly closed, but he's not dumping blood, because you can see his blood is just down the side of the griffin. And you actually know this griffin's name is Storm Talon.
Oh,
because
so I'm gonna use that.
you've told stories about this griffin. So
so-
you're kind of like starstruck a little bit as well.
Because I can speak to small animals anyway, so I probably have some kind of animal language in this, but as I speak to it, I try to put Storm Talon into my communication so that it knows, hey, I know you, we're
Okay.
buddies.
What's your
versus
DC?
14.
Okay, you actually seem to be getting through to it. So it's, it's mellowed out a bit, and its wings are folded in.
I tell
And
it
he's
to
leading
go
it,
get
so
some food.
it's not... You know enough about griffins to know that they're notorious for eating horses. So if he wasn't holding onto it, it probably would be going after horses. So she sees it calming down, and she, between you letting her know what's going on and that it's not dangerous, she comes out and she's willing to take a look at him. And he sees the healer coming over, and he's actually already like, "Ugh, I need a rest." And he's leading his griffin off to the inn. He looks beat to shit.
Kind of like that guy. Reminds me of me.
Do you want a nail? We've got
I
nail.
love a nail.
Oh, come down to the Barfing Bugbear. We got you covered.
Okay,
room to rent. Do we have room?
He's like, "I promise I will. I need a mead."
All right. Oh, Randon. Talk to my man Randon right here. He's got you covered.
Okay, so he seems
my
preoccupied with finding somewhere to tether
Trainer, you're
his
not gonna be able to
griffin.
use your room tonight.
He actually shouts a command in Uthgard. You don't understand it unless any of you speak it. And the griffin just takes off.
I'm just like, so cool.
Once you and Sister Garail start tending to this guy, he starts to speak. He's incredibly wounded, but he's just singing the praises of Mikhail. He's such a hero.
Yeah.
Once the dragon attacked, he went and saved me. And then he went and stole some of its treasure. And he's just talking about, he just can't, like, it's weird, but it's almost like superhero worship. He's just like, this guy is so great.
So cool.
Sister Garail wants to move him to the temple of Love.
All right, I'll try my best to pick him up since I'm not the strongest of guys.
And
Well,
I'll leave,
between
I'll
the
leave
three of
Mikhail
you,
back
you
to
can
the
move him.
Bugbear.
He's not like huge or anything.
I just go, oh,
Randon's still just like, he's got his man crush. He's just watching him walk off.
Dragon Slayer. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's definitely
I'm
a
calling at
badass.
the guy. Where's the treasure?
Probably in the saddlebags that are flying around.
So yeah, leading him back to the Barfing Bugbear, I'm gonna like.
He's actually
kinda-
headed to the Stonehill Inn.
Oh.
He wants to like take a bath.
Well, you got water?
We should can't.
Just Lyra just pops in through the window. Yeah, I mean he's got like fresh gouges in his armor from being beaten up by a dragon. So
I'm like starstruck. I'm like, Mikhail, okay, we are gonna have a banquet tonight. in
you're
your
just
honor."
following him. You're like, it's gonna be so cool.
I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I have told tales about you. Like, I'm like, autograph my chest.
Like, he's trying to be nice about it. He's like, yes, I'm very appreciative. Yeah. you know, his hair. I mean, obviously his hair is kind of messed up because he's been in a battle, but it's not like grimy, tangled barbarian hair. He's, you know, well groomed. He's got this. His armor is formerly like when this armor was new. It's like Royal Guard type fancy full plate, but it's just, you know, hammered with you know, years of battle.
And I make kind of an announcement that there will be a banquet at the Barfing Bugbear tonight.
Okay. Yeah, people are starting to come out. He's actually being mobbed by people, like, as he's approaching the...
Give him space!
You're right next to him. Back off, people!
Back away! Back away! Like, it's okay, we got you covered.
So, you know, everybody starts coming back out. Ayla Tressendar is, you know, saying, oh, it's okay, everybody, it's safe, and... You know, people start in the festival. Within, you know, 30, 45 minutes, the festival's resumed and people are back to dancing and Rebo Barin's back to selling his grog.
Oh, yeah. Of the wondrous. Is my shadow still going at it? Oh, no, that was 30 minutes.
Yeah, it only lasted about 30 minutes. After a little while, it wore off.
While he's talking to him.
Yeah, he just looks down at your shadow like, ugh.
I cast Minor Illusion, make my shadow do it anyway.
You're like, it's my new thing.
It's my new thing, it's cool.
Okay, so
That was
the
me the
festival
whole time.
resumes. The day's progressing. There's a quick you know, spring shower, and you actually see a rainbow. And the shower is pretty short, but it's, you know, it's warm out, so it's kind of a sun shower, so it's not like people are running for cover or anything. And then banquet tables come out, and everybody's feasting.
I do Minor Illusion for a double rainbow.
What does it mean?
What is it? You'd be amazed.
So Traenor's still scowling at the flower abuse.
Yeah, I walk back after the guys taking care of the whatever. And it's just where I'm looking. Jeez, people.
Yeah.
It's like, how would you like it if everyone flowers just grew bigger and started popping your heads off? Wearing you in their leaves. You wouldn't like it at all.
That would make for a good song.
Let's walk back.
Yeah, and the wounded soldier, you find out his name is Duroa. He met Mikhail in Neverwinter, and presumably, he doesn't really quite say it, but it sounds like he was part of a band that went after this dragon when they were ambushed.
What was the dragon's name again?
Venom Fang.
Have I heard of Venom Fang?
You can roll an intelligence check.
Is he
You
new
do
to
have
the scene?
advantage.
It's fresh new. Oh!
Natural 20.
You have heard of Venom Fang. She is not new to the scene. You've heard that she's somewhere in the Neverwinter region. Not a super old dragon, but not like a wormling or anything. Like, this is an established dragon that's fucked some shit up.
Oh, dang. Are you relaying this information?
Yeah. But like, he is attacked by a green dragon. And then I go through the whole rest.
Yeah.
Imagine us.
And that
all at
was
the table.
the faint smell of chlorine. It fits with Green Dragon, so your hunch was confirmed.
I see no reason not to make profit off.
Profit. So yeah,
So I started telling
eventually.
people that the Mikhail Winterfang is going to be at the Barfing Bugbear tonight for a banquet in his honor.
Well, there are banquets and festivities kind of going on. So eventually, he does come out of the Stonehill Inn, and he's pretty much mobbed by people. But he's feasting and eating food. He seemed genuine when he said he's going to be at the Barfing Bugbear.
Yeah.
So yeah, you start telling everyone.
No, I'm just saying, hey,
All right,
come
make
hang
your,
out, and you can catch a glance.
Yeah, so you start spreading the word, and
Okay.
people know that, you know, when Ovalt's spreading rumors, it's likely to be true.
And that's the other thing is we want to establish ourselves as an adventuring bar, and he's like the
Yeah,
Dragon Slayer
he's
adventurer. That's some street cred right there. That's
and even though you had heard he's dead, he's still a big deal.
Yeah.
He's kind
Don't ask me
of, I mean, think of like a movie star who's not quite over.
Pardon my ignorance. How long ago was the Sundering? Like, is it odd that he's still alive? And
No,
kicking?
no.
Okay.
No, it's not like he would have to be like a mummy or something to
Okay.
be along that line. Bottom line is he's a big hero. You've heard of him. He's kicked some dragon ass. And
Not that
his,
dragon's ass for him.
yeah, his former
Jeez, maybe not.
party was apparently made of barbarians from the Grey Wolves, but you really don't know much about them. Yeah,
So-
not many barbarian tribes made it this far south, but the Grey Wolves, what you know is Coneybury, which is a nearby town. up the Tribor Trail was settled by them at some point in the past.
Okay. I'm gonna spend some time telling some people the tales of. I'm gonna
Okay, so
bring
you're gonna-
the stories back out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey, everyone, get the kids around, tell them about this guy. Cool.
Okay. Traynor and Lyra, as the feasting is going on, the day's wearing on, you actually notice that woman again. But this time, she's over near Mikhail, whispering in his ear.
Oh, no.
And, running her hand up his arm and everything. But
What are you gonna do about that, Larry?
you catch a glimpse of her, and then, some people walk past, and then she's gone again. She's an elf, so he's obviously into elves.
Yeah, he's into elves.
Hey, you're a noble elf. I just realized you're noble.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for finally realizing that, Brandon.
Overall,
she
do you remember a key piece of information once, you see Lyra's consternation at this other elf moving in, that his reason for becoming a dragon hunter is that his wife and child were eaten by dragons, or a dragon rather, and that caused him to pick up the sword and become this fearsome dragon slayer.
Was his wife
And
an
le-
elf?
My wife and I.
No, she was an Uthgar barbarian, but that's part of also why he kind of forsook his past and culture and just made his purpose fucking up dragons.
So either he's damaged goods, baby, and it's not gonna work out,
Try to talk her out of it.
or well, that's it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I can think of. You should just forget
Maybe
him.
I want to
It's
go
not that
figure out who this other elf is. Do I want to go try
That's a good
and
idea.
talk to him and...
Do you want to talk? Well,
I'm gonna go talk to him.
Lyra,
Okay.
you're
I will
very nice.
I want to talk
Dragon
to him,
Slayer.
Brandon.
How are you?
Master Dwarf, how are you?
Very well. Are you coming down to join us for some L and games?
I will. Once the sun sets and the night is upon us, I will become a massive drunkard.
No, I know a noble elf I met recently.
Oh, an elf, you say?
She's very
She-elf, I hope.
elf.
She's very elf? Did you say that? How much have you had to drink? I told you that meat is good, right?
Lyra, come.
Oh, you see, they're sitting over at the table, but you see Rhiannon beckoning you over.
Alright, I go over
the
the
things I told you.
Okay, I'll go over there.
This is Lyra, my elf friend.
He's, well, what's she
You
character's
know,
charisma?
Not good.
But she's, like, physically attractive,
Physically
right?
very
Yeah.
attractive. Yes.
-2.
Negative. He's like, oh,
Roll that
who's
20.
he sees you walk up and he's, who's your friend? She's stunning, my lady. And he does the the kissing on the hand thing.
I
that
cast
dudes do.
minor illusion.
wait.
Her hair kind of sparkles. Her cleavage. Like,
All right, so because of that, I'm going to give you
Like
advantage
sweat.
if you want to make like a seduction roll or anything.
6.
So,
I just make her look hideous.
6.
6.
So he kisses your hand, and you're just kind of like,
Yeah,
So
you're very beautiful.
I just sit there like, oh my god.
he's like, yes, yes. This mutton is delicious, and he just grabs a huge leg of like mutton and starts chomping on it. But you're not out of the game.
Sit down and play games with us.
Play what?
And I want to gamble with him.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay.
Dragon Slayer, I have 2 malachite gems. Let's have some fun.
Oh yes,
Brandon
those gems, they're
pulls out
adorable.
His bone dice. I don't know what game we're playing.
Okay, you're rolling the dice. That's
You're
what
playing bone dice.
warriors do.
You want to roll off?
Yeah, I want to roll off.
Am I?
What are we rolling?
You roll first.
Oh, same dice. Okay. All right. Higher number wins because that's how gambling works.
Those golf rules.
Okay, he gets a 6.
I
Pretty
have 3.
terrible. You got a 3?
Yeah, so he just won a malachite gem off.
Yeah. It's like you know what? Keep it. I don't need it.
Oh snap! Got that treasure.
Take a look at this, and he pulls out of his bag. He pulls this huge golden goblet full of rubies all around it, and he slams it down on the table, and he goes, "I need more mead.
More meat!
She's like nowhere near. You're out on the green, so. But someone.
oh, right.
How about
Someone.
I
Oh,
take your
you're.
goblet,
Okay.
and I will.
I'm sure it'll come back. Okay. He's like, thank you. Thanks, lass.
And I take
Keep going this roll.
the goblet.
Kill us!
We're all just looking at each other like,
She's just gonna like run off with it. Oh god.
She's not
Why?
even gonna keep it.
This is just gonna end.
trainer,
terribly.
follow Lyra.
And I just run off.
Yeah, I just go.
Okay.
So I'll
So-
keep playing dice and drinking and talking with them.
Yeah, so you're
talking
just-
of battle stories and
Yeah, he seems fairly impressed with you. Roll a. Why don't you roll a persuasion check to make him think you're awesome? You've been gambling with him, so I'll give you advantage on it.
I'll take it. 18.
Okay, that works. Yeah. So I mean, he seems like he's
not very
warming up to you.
really
He's not
good
blown away, but because obviously he's seen a
Who's
lot
the
of
Dragon
shit.
Slayer?
Yeah, but
I'm
he.
like, I slay orcs.
But you know, he's you've been you tell him about your past and everything, and he's the fact that you're a barbarian kind of he's established some sort of kinship.
I kind of hop up on a stool and I'm like, I have been biting my tongue and this has been most exciting. And people have been drinking many ales thanks
That's
to you.
all
Micah.
you've met him.
Yes. Oh, yes. I am a big fan. But I have so many questions for you, but I know you don't have time. But I wanted to ask you one thing.
He's looking around for his goblet.
Yes, and I finally I bring it back with some meat because I'm like, that wasn't.
You just gave it to
He
me.
just gave it to me, and I didn't steal it. So here you go.
He takes
I
it.
was going to minor illusion.
He thanks
another
you and
goblet.
smacks you on the bottom.
Ooh, she's smiling.
Oh, you were saying, Bard.
Yeah, you should sing a song, Oval.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought due to all of your glory. So I had a quick question. I have been telling your story for near a century now, and every time I've told it, I was told that you died during the Sundering. How did you survive? I never thought I would meet you. I thought you had passed away years ago.
Passed away. No, that is for old men in beds.
Yes.
If I was going to die, I would end up in Warrior's Rest, fighting eternal. But no, the dragons have not claimed me yet.
Nor shall they.
No. By the end of the week, Venom Fang's head will be on my saddle.
Speaking of, where is that saddle?
If Storm Talon eats someone's horse, then I will pay for it. It is a wild beast. I cannot always control it, but he prefers wild horses anyway. I would not worry.
They taste better.
Exactly. He seems to be speaking from experience.
Mr. the Ice Fang. I was just wondering. So it seems that this green dragon caused you a bit of trouble.
Yes,
the
it's
soldier sounded like he was
Extremely
part of the group.
cunning.
Extremely cunning.
More than most for its age, especially.
How many soldiers did you have when you were confronting this?
Oh, they were not
vicious beast?
soldiers. They were adventurers like yourselves.
Yes,
6,
6 adventurers.
plus myself. Only one remains. He's looking around grimly, as if visualizing the deaths of all those adventurers.
So when I hear tale that you made off with some of the treasure of this dragon, was there more to be had?
Oh yes, it was a horde.
Ooh, a nice wood.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent.
Deep in the forest.
Haven't slain a dragon yet.
Because I
Again.
might know a few adventurers that could help you out. Just saying.
He looks around the table. I do
Minor
not-
illusion. They all like their muscles look like a little bit bigger. Their armor looks clear. Like
I do not mean to insult you, Mr. Gnome, but I would fear for your safety should you come with me.
safety is a tertiary concern of ours. I think I don't. I think a dragon might be the next step for our group.
The next.
Haven't slayed a dragon yet. I'm all for it.
Rannon's filled with confidence. And confidence will get you far.
That is true.
I don't see any other adventurers stepping forward, anxious to bite off the head of a dragon,
You don't bite
drag
off
it to the
the
ground.
I'm not anxious.
You don't bite off
I'm
the
not
head.
anxious.
That's just a rumor. Their heads are huge.
Well, I
He
heard-
sighs heavily, looks down at his cup, and then grimly looks up. What do you know about dragons, boy?
What do I know about dragons?
Oh, I start rattling stuff off.
Okay. Intelligence with advantage.
I got this guy.
18.
He seems impressed. He looks at you and he sits back and folds his arms over his chest and is.
And then you know what? Then the fucking blue dragons are the worst ones. Whenever they show up, they just show up. And then Tiamat, she's the worst. You know what I mean?
He seems impressed. He asks you where you learned all of your knowledge.
From my mom.
Ah, yes. Who was your mother? He seems intrigued. Seeing you're a half elf, seems to be all about the she elves.
Yeah, it's like, let's just say she knew a thing or two about a thing or two when it came to hunting dragons. She was with a group you probably never heard of.
Okay. Doesn't press the issue.
And plus, there's that. And above the hearth, which he's been sitting away from, I do minor illusion of a black dragon head mounted on the...
What?
Who's that? You know, just saying.
Okay, how much are you hamming it up? Like ancient dragon head?
No, like I said, a small...
Like a wormling or something?
Yeah, not... I don't know about... Yeah, maybe wormling, maybe a little bit... You know,
Not well.
Young
enough.
dragon?
Well, yeah, I was smart enough not to make it like some giant, like,
Okay,
ancient thing.
like a young dragon.
Yeah, like...
He looks at it.
Not
Interesting.
outside art.
He calls Elsa over for more mead. Tell me the story of this dragon you slew, my gnomish friend.
A while back, when I was traveling these lands from the Dragon Coast all the way to the Sword Coast, I found myself in a band of barbaric adventurers, much like yourself. And I mean that.
Eyebrow raises.
Yes. And they asked for my assistance in helping them slay this black dragon. Now, I obviously was up for it because I knew I could certainly help them out. Now, I am no warrior such as yourselves. I don't have strength in arms, but I do have strength of mind. And I helped them come up with a plan to trap this dragon and keep it within a cave so it could no longer fly. And I was able to weave a spell that convinced the dragon that they were not who he thought they were. And they were able to sneak in below its belly and stab it ruthlessly and bring it to its death. So, though I did not strike the final blow upon this dragon, nor did I cut out its eyes or slice its throat, I was an integral part of this dragon-slaying party and assisted in bringing this creature to the ground.
Alright, roll persuasion.
Do I get advantage for
Yeah, I'll give you a +4.
18.
He strokes his beard and nods. It's quite the story.
It's an amazing story.
It reminds me of one I slew when I was young. Not quite as old as you. And then he goes on to tell you a boring story. But you already know that one.
Oh yes! Oh, I remember this one. This one's great.
And
then
he wrinkles his nose. Black dragons. I hate the swamp. It's terrible. So he agrees. He says, "You will come with me. We will go out in 2 days. Enjoy the feast, and then we will kill." And he, clinks his goblet.
Elsa, where's mine?
You've already got one. Elsa's been keeping you topped off. Don't you worry. Now he is drunk now.
Since he's getting more drunk, I want to make a bet with him and say the person that stays up the longest keeps the goblet.
Okay.
Elsa, more ale. It's fine, guys.
He says, "You're on."
I just shake my head.
You're like, I fucking hate humans. Okay, well, I mean, I could start rolling constitution checks for him and stuff, but there's no way he's gonna pass out after you, so.
Yay! The goblet is mine.
Yeah, he heads up and he says, "Keep it." And heads up. He actually stumbles off down the street towards the Stonehill Inn. He is drunk now.
I set you up, Lyra. I mean, what the hell?
To say you're a pretty good wingman. I don't know. That was just the poor dice
Fine, you
rolling.
can keep it. I don't want something that's given to me anyways.
Trainer, will you sell this at the Fandeller's
The miners exchange.
Miners Exchange? I don't think I should go back.
Sure.
Yeah, because he's such a people person.
How much is it? Sure, I'll take it. That's fine. Here's 2 gold and 3 copper.
I take it back. No, he's not gonna.
It's all smelling like feet.
I have no one in this party that I can actually give the cup to sell for me because I don't think I can
give it
sell
to
it. No.
I will sell it for you.
Oval, will you sell this?
You haven't
goblet
actually
at
told
Fandeller's
Oval
Miners
about that.
Exchange? I don't think I'm allowed.
This is
in.
what the goblet looks like to me. I'm like,
About his exchange at the
Yeah,
miners
no one
exchange.
knows.
Yeah, you haven't told anybody about that.
Well, I just said I don't think I'm allowed in.
There you go.
Let's just leave it at that.
Knocked shit off the shelf as you're leaving. That's funny. Okay.
so do you want me to go sell that?
Well, I mean, it's like the evening
Well,
now.
tomorrow.
So, yeah.
I want to go with you to sell this goblet. I'll hold it for you.
Under no circumstances is she allowed to touch my goblet.
Under no
It's not your
circumstance-
goblet. It's the gorgeous man's goblet.
It's my goblet. I just want it.
I can't say Lyra. One of the things that only you picked up on was that his demeanor is stern, but his gaze belies a steely resolve yet coupled with a deep sadness. You guys don't know. Yeah, you weren't looking. You're like, fuck this dude.
I know. He's a big dragon slayer.
He thinks he is. He's only killed like 5. This dude.
Yeah, big deal.
Is anyone doing anything else that night? He stumbled off back to his place drunk.
Lyra, now's your chance.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He does have disadvantage on his...
Intimidation.
Intimidation? What am I trying to
That's,
intimidate?
I think we established intimidation for these situations is called rape.
Yeah.
That's just horrible. You're just like,
That's so
Fucking do
creepy.
it now.
Yeah.
Stick it in.
No, no.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
So do you want to go try to?
Yeah, you could try and catch up with him.
If you wanted to take advantage of Mikhail,
He is drunk. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's drunk. Does he have anything on him that looks interesting?
I mean, he's
Like,
wearing-
have
I think his
valuables in it?
pecs look interesting. His trapezius muscles.
He's drunk. Like you can decide what you want to do. You can go try and pick
Yeah, I
it.
mean, he's
Because
wearing
your son's all
nice
the-
clothes. Like his clothes are not commoner garb. He's a noble.
And to put it in perspective, he pulled out of it his sack a goblet that's encrusted with jewels.
Yeah, I mean, he
And
just
didn't
robbed
care.
a dragon's hoard. So,
Yeah, but
and
I
he
don't know if
which he
he cares.
ostensibly got from that goblet is some of the
course.
booty.
Oh,
And you know, people are still partying out in the street. It's it's kind of a not quite carnival type thing, but it's a festival, and it's also the first time that anyone in this town's really been able to celebrate anything in a long time. So
Yeah.
the Barfing Bugbear is also going off very well. I mean, it's mostly a lot of people are still scared to go there because of it's a lot of people that have lived in Fandalen still see it as the sleeping giant and know what used to go on there, so they're a little freaked out. But there are a lot of new faces, so you do get a lot of travelers, and there are a lot of would-be adventurers. So there's plenty of people visiting the Barfing Bugbear.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the long way out of town to where I normally set up camp.
Okay.
And I'll
But,
try and catch up with Mikhail.
Yeah, as I do that, I'm gonna keep an eye out for that elf.
Okay.
I'm gonna catch up with Mikhail.
Okay. Yeah, you see him stumbling, and he's been intercepted by some commoners, and they're he's actually showing a bunch of kids his sword. He actually pulls Ice Fang from its sheath, and as soon as he pulls it, you see the condensed air, as it's called Ice Fang because as soon as he pulls it out, you see frost on the blade, and the billowing kind of smoke-like condensed air pours from it, and he pulls it out. He's like, "No, don't touch it. It's very dangerous."
It's quite
And that-
cool.
Yeah, it's quite cool. And all the kids are like, "Wow!" There's a little elf and a half-orc kid are just like totally just minds blown.
Since he is pretty,
Pretty.
Close to, yeah, he is very pretty.
He is.
And that's why I'm stumbling over my words. Kind of maybe help him relax and wait until he goes to sleep and see if I can find any interesting treasure.
How do you help him relax?
Give him a massage.
A little massage. Oh shit! So there is. All right. So
Well,
roll your
no.
persuasion. There's going to be a little, persuasioniness there.
Persuasion. Ooh. Okay.
You got this.
She's like gonna help him to his room and stuff.
Oh!
Damn!
Crit!
She remembered old elocution.
Would you roll?
A
So
natural 20.
fade to black. Should we just
Well, you're lucky he is drunk because he rolled a natural 20 and a 12. But yeah, so
Yeah.
pretty much
So he got disadvantage. He got a
it
12.
went really well. And
He's really drunk.
He's really drunk and very, very,
So, yeah,
very relaxed.
he's stumbling back to his room, and you help him back up there. Massage, fade to black.
Pedicure.
I mean, well,
But I just-
first roll a wisdom check to see. I want to see some willpower here.
Wisdom.
Oh, see if you can resist.
Yeah, because he's not without his own
He's
charm.
Okay,
Yeah,
what exactly for
just a generic wisdom check.
13?
Okay, yeah. So you know, one thing's moving to another. You're in his room. He's obviously got the most fancy room in the Stonehill Inn. It's upstairs, and he doesn't have a whole lot of luggage. You can see he's basically got his satchel, and his griffin had some, sizable saddlebags on it. Your guess would be that's where most of his treasure was. His satchel has, his personal items, some gold, a few, he's got a potion or two. Standard adventurer stuff.
I'll just leave it alone. It'll be nice. I do kind of like he's pretty hot. So I'll just
Yeah.
leave his stuff alone.
Okay.
and fade to black.
All right. All right. So next morning, actually, roll a perception check real quick.
6.
Yeah, you're kind of busy. Some stuff.
He's just so hot.
Yeah. Don't seem anything. Well, I mean, there's something out of the ordinary, but we won't go into that.
Whoa!
Oh,
So
yeah,
next morning, everyone wakes up refreshed, and he's definitely hungover. He's like, oh, I need some water. And so you basically have a day or two to prepare everything, and you're running the inn and all that stuff. Now, Traynor, you've been asked to go to the Fandalen Miners Exchange.
No, Oval.
Ovalt.
Yeah, I was like, no.
All right.
No.
So I'm going to use my disguise kit and disguise myself to look like a gnomish soldier.
Oh, what? Is that a
gnomish
thing?
Soldier. Yes.
So you notice that Rebo Barin's cart, his mule-drawn carriage, is gone. He's moved on.
4. So I got a 9 total. The nose is all. It's kind of going on.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's natural 20.
I just heard natural 20. Right?
Yeah,
Shit.
so Holly
I'm all-
Thornton just laughs. She just sees you walk in, and you've got like your fake beard, and she is just belly laughing.
like-
Is that Ovalt Mithril tongue?
And then I
under there?
start laughing. I'm like, oh, last night was crazy. You don't even want to know.
She just.
You don't even want to know.
It's so bad that it almost helps. She's, what do you want? I've had enough of you heroes of Fandalen.
Nothing. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to come back on another day. Quite frankly, I'll sell that goblet later. I just botched that.
Yeah, you can tell it's weird because when you first met her, her demeanor was cordial, and now she definitely seems like she is not cool with you.
Oh, not cool.
No, I mean she laughs at you, but it's not in a nice way. Like something's different.
Something's different, huh?
Yeah. So you leave the Miners' Exchange
Yeah. Huh,
early morning.
That's interesting.
And Traynor, you're off in the,
'Cause
in
again,
the
I don't
woods
want
hanging out.
I don't want people knowing that we just sold Mikhail's freaking goblet.
That's also
I
awkward.
won / he gave it to
Oh,
me.
Yeah, that is
Oh.
true. He gave it to you.
Actually, forget it. I'm gonna do disguise self.
Again?
Well, no, that's a spell.
Oh.
So it's like, I'm like, forget it. I'm going in as someone totally different. I
Does that change your voice and everything? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who are you turning into?
I'm turning into a halfling trader, a very friendly halfling trader.
Okay.
And I go in there and, oh hi, how's it going? I wanted to come in and I found an item I'd like to sell, please. Halflings are very weird and
okay. Yeah, she's like okay. Yeah, I mean she's not mean or anything, but she's businesslike.
Because the other thing is that she knows Zovalt and she doesn't like him. My few cast friends, but anyway,
she's much different with this you. She's welcoming and greets you and asks who you are and you go through. I'm assuming a spiel.
Yeah. I'll tell her where I'm from. I'm from this quaint little shire to the east, and blah blah blah. I talked to her for like half an hour. She's like, oh my God, no.
So she values the goblet at 25 gold pieces.
It's encrusted with rubies.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to persuade her to give me a little more. I mean, I'm gonna point out, look at these rubies.
Okay.
That's gotta be worth something. I talked to a dwarven appraiser. He's skilled at appraisal.
At the word dwarf, she rolls her eyes really hard.
And he told me
Disadvantage?
it's worth no less than 35 gold.
Wow.
What'd you roll?
Do I get advantage at all?
No.
Oh, I got an 8.
She rolled a 3. Even though I'm pretty sure that's a DC thing, but I'm doing it contested. So
Right.
she's
like, just get out of here.
pretty much. You could tell you're wearing on her nerves.
It's part of my game.
She bumps it up to 45.
Oh, excellent. You have a deal.
All right. As you slap your hand down, she kind of snickers a little bit and takes the goblet.
I walk out. As I
Hands
walk out, I
you
go,
your jingle jangle coin
I go,
purse.
"Bidadoo."
Okay. So yeah, you're 45 gold richer. At this point, you're able to leave Elsa and the other 4 employees working the
I believe so.
inn. Yeah.
And I'll go actually check on that soldier.
Yeah, he's doing better. He's still bedridden. Even though there's magic healing and everything, they're kind of just. He needs a few days to just relax. I mean, there were pretty deep gouges. Plus, now that you know he was fighting a green dragon, he inhaled some of that breath, and he's pretty messed up. So, I mean, you could hear when he was speaking, his voice was very hoarse. It sounds like he got it pretty bad. Yeah, and it's a pretty slow day. The next day, everyone's there's a lot of people. Basically, the entire town's hungover, and it's a weekend. So, unless anyone has any other pressing things, the next day is the day you set off. Mikhail marks your map where he'll meet you at the mouth of or the head of the trail leading into the Neverwinter Wood, because Thunder Tree, which you've heard of, you've been told about Thunder Tree before.
Thunder Tree. Oh yes, I've heard of Thunder Tree.
If you don't remember,
I don't remember. Off the top of my head.
Colleen Alderleaf told you that there was a druid that lived somewhere near Thunder Tree that might be able to give you the whereabouts of Cragwell Castle.
Did she say the race or gender of the druid?
She didn't. She said his name was...
His name. No.
Yeah, his name is Radoff.
Radoff.
He marks your map near what used to be Thunder Tree. It's an old ruined town that was on the edge of Neverwinter Wood, and Traynor, you've been there before, or at least in that area, because the Neverwinter Wood is kind of your area. There's places not to go. You haven't been there in a number of, probably close to a year or two, but you know the place. It's kind of reclaimed by the forest just because it was destroyed when Mount Hottenau, which is up north near Neverwinter, erupted. It was a volcano, and Thunder Tree was one of the places that was destroyed. Last you heard, there were what are called ash zombies, which are like zombies but kind of volcanic and weird, and there's some other evil going on there. So you generally have avoided it. So he marks your map near there and says, "I will meet you there. I have to go to Neverwinter, check on some things." He jumps on Storm Talon and flies off.